This episode is dedicated to Frank Williams, U.S. Air Force veteran. Operation Pathfinder Navigating PTSD, episode number 9. We are ready. War. In this intel briefing, we'll dive deeper into additional resources for veterans, first responders, and many other trauma survivors to keep us at a high level of readiness. Hello everyone, I'm your host Ben Williams, veteran and advocate. PTSD is the toughest enemy you'll ever face. This relentless adversary will destroy you from the inside out until it's taken you early in life, unless you do something right now. He is determined and relentless. However, Operation Pathfinder's mission is to be a part of the solution when it comes to helping you with PTSD. You'll hear from fellow veterans, survivors, and professionals who have been there and understand, and each episode will provide you with intel of purpose and hope to keep you on the move. As we journey down this path, it may be difficult to see, but as warriors, remember, WAR stands for We Are Ready. The available resources are abundant to assist you in your battles with this aggressive enemy known as PTSD. And as you know, any struggle or fight with a determined opponent can be difficult. The weapons used by him are very effective, but your support operations are there to keep you readily supplied and feeding your war machine against his determined adversary. Within the veteran circles, the VA has consistently improved on past issues by helping you become well-equipped for battle. Taking the first step for the support operations of the VA should be your main objective. In the last episode, episode number 8, Michael Roof, the director of the Grand Traverse County Veteran Affairs Office, provided great information and a path to follow for a wealth of support and resources. And if you're unable to connect with your county's Veteran Affairs Office, the VFW, Veteran of Foreign Wars, and the American Legion are excellent at locating and securing the resources you need and deserve. See the show notes for more information on these organizations and a list of county veteran service officers in your area. As we have learned, the enemy does not discriminate. It will attack anyone that has gone through a traumatic experience. And physicians will use the DSM-5 published by the American Psychiatric Association discussed in episode number 3 to confirm your enemy is indeed PTSD. PTSD can often be found in 8 different criteria described in the DSM-5. Another way to look at the DSM-5 is a way to turn over the rocks in which he may be hiding under. Although veterans are the fertile ground in which he loves to play, first responders are another vulnerable group often targeted by him. The responders are on the front lines of our nation's streets day in and day out, also putting service before self on a daily basis. And these professionals are highly sought after targets, and the frequent and repeated exposure to trauma, life-threatening events, and witnessing accidents as well as assisting victims is an easy avenue for him and his task units, as we discussed in episode number 4, to evade and manipulate your mind. Many responders may utilize private insurance, but there are organizations similar to the Code Green campaign available and is an excellent conduit in finding local operations support to fight against PTSD. Check out my show notes for more information about Code Green. The resources provided by Code Green include confidential and private support at little to no cost to you. The hardest struggle will be fighting back against the doubt, fear, and worry that is clouding your mind by these task units of PTSD. The fog created by the task units are what prevents you from tapping into these resources. So being aware of his tactics and his ongoing attacks against you should help you see and utilize the valuable resources at your disposal. Warriors battling sexual assault or life-threatening traumas have options available with many local resources. The support resources will vary depending on where you live. A singular starting point to open up doors in your community could be found on www.helpguide.org. See my show notes. There is a ton of information on their website, and the National Alliance of Mental Illness, NAMI, helpline at 1-800-950-NAMI or 6264 is available in the United States. Also, when searching, reference, quote, trauma treatment programs. It is a PDF designed to provide you with a breakdown for each state and the treatment facilities available. Also, check out my show notes. And if you live in the UK, Australia, or Canada, you will be able to find great starting resources there as well. Many self-care treatments are available and useful, and the treatment options are less effective without support elements. Trained professionals will be able to help you decipher the intel you have about PTSD and the different attacks you are experiencing, as well as a professional will be able to help instruct you on the best self-care treatment options available, depending on which battle plan the PTSD is using against you and which task units or squadrons they are being used. As warriors, we often believe that we are stronger and can handle these battles by ourselves, but unfortunately, this enemy uses that thought process to its advantage and only weakens us that much more. The last resource commonly overlooked is your local churches or parishes. Many times, outreach programs and counselors are available to the community members free of charge. And as stated in episode number 7, you want to build your SORT team, Special Operators Resource Team. Your SORT team is there to help you through those tough battles. They're your medics, they're your intel officers, counterintelligence officers, translators, and logistics support group. They will provide you with a ton of talent and expertise to conquer PTSD. Remember, build your team, win the war. Before I wrap up this episode, I would like to honor a U.S. Air Force veteran who wrote a blank check in defense of our great nation during the Vietnam War. He lives a rich and fulfilled life with high moral values and integrity. He's my uncle, Uncle Frank Williams of Round Top, Texas. Thank you, Uncle Frank. The next episode, we'll sit down with Luke Clark to discuss his transition to civilian life and how a service dog has helped him create a better quality of life. Folks, please take a moment to subscribe to this free podcast. For Apple users, check us out on iTunes, and Android users, you can find us on SoundCloud, Google Play, or Spotify. To help build our army of warriors and take back our lives from this deadly enemy, the more subscribers, reviews help fuel our machine and be a beacon of hope for other warriors that are struggling in silence. Until next time, keep on the move. Disclaimer. Operation Pathfinder's podcast is based on my views and experience with PTSD, but will be evidence-based as possible. I welcome any comments, suggestions, or corrections of errors. I do not take money from any drug, device, or medical companies. Always consult your own physician or therapist for any medical or mental health issues that you may be having. This entire disclaimer also applies to any guest or contributors to the podcast. Under no circumstances shall Operation Pathfinder, any guest or contributors to the podcast, or any employees, associates, or affiliates of Operation Pathfinder be responsible for any damages arising from use of this podcast. Thank you.